After he got those couple early sacks out of the way, what did you like the most about the way Trevor played the other day?
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah. Number 16.
16? Yeah. No. You know what? I thought he was very efficient. Obviously 20 to 22 passing. Really good in the run game with some of the checks we gave him, and really did what we asked him to do. Did a nice job in the fourth quarter, leading that drive down to get us the lead, late in that game and put us in a position to go ahead and potentially win it. So those are obviously the steps that we need him to take, and that was big in that direction.
That third down throw to Zan to start that drive, is that one of the best throws that you've seen him make?
I think so. He was able to, stand in there, had a little heat, in his face, stood in there, made a nice throw on the sideline over the top of a defender. Really good throw.
Was that game plan partly designed to get him, into a rhythm and have a bounce back game after the last two?
A little bit. Again, it goes back to what the Colts do defensively. They like to keep all eyes on the quarterback and rush 4, 7 in coverage and sort of rally and keep everything in front. So it's a matter of staying disciplined and I thought he did that and really stayed not only within himself but within the structure of the offense.
As you now look to the Giants, how does that framework change? It's obviously a different opponent, but how do you keep him playing within a framework?
Yeah, I mean it's a different set of challenges this week. Wink does a great job of adjusting personnel, different people in the game, different coverages. Still wants to come out of a one high or a single high defense, but he'll present zone, he'll present man, and then of course he'll blitz you, and that's been his MO. And but it's still, as a quarterback, you still want to stay in rhythm. Timing, accuracy, all those things are highly important, and being able to handle the blitz. I think this week is going to be one of the challenges that we have as an offense.
Is there any other previous game that he can draw on from earlier this year to prepare for a defense like this?
I mean, you can look back early in the season. I think a little bit of the Washington game. I think even the Charger game in there. Where they want to mix multiple personnels, play 5-man fronts, get after the passer, make you throw the football, those types of things. Those are games that Trevor can look at, we can look at, and see what worked, and try to use that, this week. But it's going to take all 11 really on offense. This team is playing. They're playing well. Obviously 5-1. Opportunistic. They're creating some takeaways and key moments. Especially late in the fourth quarter. Especially you look at last week and what they did to Baltimore. So they're playing well and playing with a lot of confidence.
Looking back on some of your plays from this past game, specifically the hasty run where you have the big unbalanced line. How often realistically can a team run from that kind of a set? Because it's so different. Obviously you can't do it on every play.
No, I think that was it was a short yardage situation, I believe, and if I'm thinking it was 3rd and 1, right, when they hit. Yeah, so short yardage situation, and sometimes, listen, offenses and defenses can kind of get a little predictable in those situations. You kind of know where the defense is going to be, and then defensively, I think what the offense is going to do based on personnel. So it was just for us, it was just a well executed play. It was an off tackle type play, and I think Luke was over there, Manhurts was over there. JT blocked the guys they had to block, and then it was just a nice opening for Hasty.
Having your two starting tackles being right next to each other, that's just something you
you
just don't see much of the game.
Well, you don't, but again, I credit Coach Rauscher, Phil, for the scheme and the game plan there, and what he saw, and we did it multiple times in that game. Last week was the unbalanced stuff, and it's something that we can continue to work on.
As a follow-up, specifically the Agnew reverse, you line up in a way that looks like it could be your basic run play, right? The play action to ETN, play fake to ETN. How rewarding is it when you win that kind of a chess match? You show the opponent a look that's kind of a basic look, and then you throw that wrinkle in there.
I mean, you're happy if it works, and then you're disappointed if it doesn't. But again, you're going against a common opponent, right? It's the second time we've played, the Colts, and you try to come up with things that they haven't seen from us, and it just so happened that was an opportunity to execute that play, and I was just hopefully he would have scored, but we did score on the drive.
So I assume the same thing went for the 4th and 1 that didn't work, right? The option.
Yeah, and that was I take credit on that one. I mean, sometimes you just line up and play football sometimes, and it was just it was a bad decision on my part, put our team in a bad situation there.
Doug, Trayvon Walker's numbers aren't really eye-popping, but have you seen some progress from him despite maybe the penalties the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think too what you're seeing is teams are aware of him and scheme and protection towards him. So he's gaining, the recognition and obviously gaining the respect of the opponents. But at the same time, he needs to understand that he can't get frustrated. He's got to continue to work and find ways to create rush. And just play within himself. He's a good player. He's only going to get better. These are great learning experiences. I mean, obviously two penalties that I know he would like to have back, but he'll learn, and sometimes you learn the hard way, and that's what he's going through right now.
He's been pretty stout in run defense, and obviously without Foley out there the last few weeks, that affects your run defense. Number one is Foley. You think what's his status for this Sunday looking like, and two, how do you defend Saquon Barkley with or without?
Well, with Foley, I think we're going to see him out there today, so we'll get him back in practice, and hopefully he's capable, and he's obviously day to day still, but we're hoping he makes it to Sunday. And listen, we need all hands on deck with Saquon. I've watched this guy for many years run all over us, and he's one of those backs where it's like you'll get 2, you'll get 3, you get 1 loss, maybe a lost yardage, and then bang, he'll hit you for 50. I mean, that's just the type of back he is. He's an explosive running back. He's a downhill guy. He's got speed to circle the defense. I mean, he's just a complete guy. Then you're seeing him, out of the backfield too, make plays there. So having some bigger guys, if Foley could go, just help, anchor in the middle of the run defense, but with a guy like Saquon, you got to make sure you get him on the ground.
How have you seen Tyson Campbell kind of grow since you got here?
I think just, as he's played more, he's gained more confidence. Came out of training camp that way, I think, and you could just see it in his play. And, early in the season, you saw a couple throws his way that didn't go his way, but now more and more as teams, try to challenge that side, you're seeing him, break those plays up and make those plays. And so it just comes with playing. Young players need to play, and he's done a nice job. He's fitting into the scheme really well and just playing with confidence.
Kind of like with Trayvon, are you seeing maybe offenses maybe respect Campbell a little more, maybe take him in a part of the game plans?
I mean, I think so. They're still trying. They're still trying to throw the ball that way, and you have to. But it's just the more he makes plays, the more confident he gets, and he seems to be in the right position. He's a good tackler, out in space, and just a nice young solid player for us.
How do you solve the coverage issue that you had last week? Is it just a matter of saying you got to play better, or is there something schematically or personnel-wise you can do to shore up what was a weak spot?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of all that, quite honestly. If we play man coverage, we got to play man coverage, right? We can't give so much free access sometimes. Now I'll say that to say this, that teams scheme man coverage, right? You get in bunches, you get in stacks. It's a way to draw, picks and allow guys to get open, and now you're in a trail position as a DB, and it's hard. It's extremely hard, but you do the best you can. You can obviously mix, maybe some zone in there, from time to time. But at the same time, we ask our guys to do a lot. We challenge them, some of the veteran players, and somewhere we got to just make a play, and as coaches, we got to make sure we're doing the right thing too, and putting our players in position to be successful.
Do you expect Jamal, Marvin Jones to practice today?
Marvin, yes. Jamal, no. Yeah, we're gonna kind of see where he's at. He'll be out there running around, but as far as taking any kind of team reps, he'll be out.
You kind of touched on this a little bit earlier with the opportunistic New York Giants, but when you look at all of their games, it's almost like one-score game, similar to this team, but they've just been able to come out with the win. Do you see those similarities between the teams, and sort of what do you think your team needs to do to sort of get over that hump?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of similarities. When you look at the scoring, you look at scoring by quarter. There's a lot of similarities there. Both teams. I think the number one thing that we just have to focus on is us, and making sure that we make plays in the fourth quarter, and we haven't done that well enough, this year, or consistent enough, where they are, and they're making those plays. They're in the right spot at the right time, and and that's kind of the way this league goes. Sometimes the ball bounces in your favor, and give them credit. They're in the right position to make those plays. And that's something that, each week that we learn from ours, and, try to be in position each week to come up with the ball or to make the play that wins you the game.
Do you feel like you guys are getting closer to doing that?
I do. It's something that it's a want to, it's a desire, and you see it from the guys, you see it from the team. That's why they're dejected and kind of ticked off at the end of the game for many reasons, but that's the main reason, just not being able to finish a game, and maybe close out an opponent in the fourth quarter, whether that's offense running the ball for first downs or, getting first downs, right, or the defense, getting off the field on third down. Those are all hand-in-hand things that, we haven't been able to do yet.
You went against Saquon for a couple of years there, but then also Daniel Jones. How have you kind of seen his play change with Dable as his head coach?
Well, first of all, Daniel Jones is a guy that can beat you not only with his arm but with his leg. I've watched him split our defense in two for 65-yard runs, and he's a better runner than I think people give him credit for. And then the second part of that is I think Coach Dable's done a nice job of just doing what he does best, and using that as a strength, right? Much like we're trying to do with Trevor, and just do what what they do best, and that's just being efficient in the passing game. Get the ball out of your hand. Don't take, the unwanted sack or the untimely sack. Don't turn the ball over, and those are all things that Daniel's done, and he's done a nice job with it.
Since you brought it up, Trevor using his legs, how much of a weapon is that, knowing last year under a different regime they didn't want him to run as much?
Do you want him to run all the time? No, but at the same time, it is an opportunity to gain valuable yards, get a first down, stay on the field. So anytime he has the ability to do that, I encourage him to protect himself, obviously, which he's done. We've had some design runs on third down that he's picked up some first downs, and those are all part of the game. But anytime he can scramble, use his legs, get after it.
Is it any easier to prepare for a guy like Jalen Hurts, who is going to get a lot of call runs, as opposed to a guy like Daniel Jones, who's probably going to get a lot of his yards more on scrambles, just trying to get the hit out of the pocket kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously two different styles. One is schematic, with the zone read and how you play your ends or your linebackers and all of that on the backside. The other one is just kind of impromptu, pull the ball down and scramble, and they're both hard to defend, but at the same time you got to stay disciplined in your not only your run fits, but your eyes have to stay disciplined. The scheme has to be disciplined. The whole thing. And when they do run, you got to make sure you get them on the ground. And they're gonna they're going to get plays. I mean, they're going to make yards. Obviously, those two, Jalen Hurts is going to make yards running the ball, and Daniel's going to, make plays scrambling. So just try to limit as much as you can.
What did you guys think of Kayvon Thibodeau in the pre-draft process?
We liked him. We interviewed him at the combine, had him in, liked everything about him. I thought he's a very, unique player. Has a different skill set, obviously, than Trayvon, but at the same time, very effective. The guy can run. He's physical at the point. He's doing the things that Coach Wink has asked him to do, and he's another one that's going to continue to get better.
All good.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Darren and John.